Good evening, fellow Plexers. I thought I'd push out another quick video to help my buddy the Howman, who's wondering how to get Diff'rent Strokes to add properly after he ripped it. So this would be general advice for anybody ripping a TV show off Blu-ray or DVD. So I have Diff'rent Strokes pulled up, and one of the first things you should do is recognize that episode ordering by default is going to come from TMDB and not TVDB. TMDB is always aired ordering and not DVD ordering. So you should not even use TMDB. And let me bring in my Plex server. Let me prep something first. Okay, so I'm going to use a test server as my example. And if I go into this TV show library, whenever you create a library for Plex for TV shows, during the creation process, you should go to the advanced setting and change episode ordering to the TVDB. The default is the movie database. This will also be aired ordering, but this will keep you working only in the TV database as your naming guide. Let me get rid of that. And let me get rid of the Plex HTPC client app and that window. So, now that we're in the show at TVDB, we can click on Seasons, and you'll see that there's an aired order tab, a DVD ordered tab, and an absolute. Well, if you're ripping from DVD, this is the important one. And one of the first things you can do is just scan down and see how many episodes are per season. They're all 24 except for the second season, the third, the fourth, and the eighth. So third, fourth, or second, third, fourth, and eighth. So it's the same number of episodes no matter whether it's DVD ordered or the aired order. The next thing to look at is to click into a season TVDB's a little slow tonight, and scan for your dates. You're looking for 2 episodes aired back to back. And we see the first time it happens is December 29th, 1978. There's 2 episodes titled Retrospective. 1 and 2 is as they are labeled here. Then if you keep scanning, you want to look for that happening again. And you'll see that happens again on March 30th, 1979. Well, as you rip these from a DVD, more likely than not, instead of having 24 episodes for the first season, you'll have 22, because each of these double episodes will probably rip off the DVD as 1 episode. And that'll throw your whole numbering off. Let me take a brief pause. And I'm back. Unfortunately, a tool like FileBot will not help you with this. You'll have to rename things manually. So the first one will be this. And I'm not going to use a file manager. I'm going to use a word processor. So you'll have your proper show name. Well, that's no good. Let's do it this way. Let's paste it in there so it's clean. Pull it out. And I'll put it back in here and we'll make it larger. So of course you'll have your show name and folder. So let's grab that now. Well, again, made the same mistake. So you have one episode that'll represent episode, or one file that'll represent episode 8 and episode 9. So you have to change this. It'll be -E09. And if you do cartoons that are ripped from DVD or Blu-ray, you might have 3 episodes per, and you don't add another dash, you simply go with a whole sequence. So that would represent 3 episodes. So we'll fix it for this Diff'rent Strokes. And you could even do this, because Plex does not scan the episode file name or use it for anything. So that would represent a double episode, and Plex would scan that in as one poster. Now the problem is your season 10 episode is labeled E09 if you've named things manually, so everything has to be adjusted. So if we go back to this, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in one file. Well, you might have this labeled as 9, so that it has to become 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then you'll have this again as a double episode. So let's do this. So this will be 20 and 21. And then if you want, you can put your episode names. Now, what I would suggest doing is don't even worry about the episode names. Just get this part right. So let's remove this. So if you have this structure, Diff'rent Strokes Season 01, with these 2 episode names, then, well, let's get rid of that, because they'd really be .mp4 or .mkv. Once you have a simple episode name like this, then you can run it through FileBot, and FileBot will add the episode name to the file name. So unfortunately, this is a little labor of love, and there's a lot of manual stuff to go along with it. So if we back up, let's go to DVD order, all seasons. And if we move into season 2, we're going to look for the same thing. We're going to look for the same date. So we have September 21st. This was a dual episode. That'll have to be labeled SO2 EO1 -EO2 because it came off the DVD as one file. And then again, we have another dual episode, so you'll have to fix that. That would be SO2 EO3-EO. Well, this is looking kind of funky. Well, so it's going to be one file, and it's listed as one episode, unlike this one. So this will come off as one file and be one file. It'll just simply be episode 3 of the second season. That's a little strange. I haven't seen that before. And if we keep rolling down, we have a 2-parter split across different dates. So they would be named just like that. And if we keep scrolling down, these two were on the same night, so that probably came off the DVD as one file, so that would be SO2E10-E11. And do we have any more? Nope, that's it. So if we go to season 3, and I'll stop with season 3. Both these episodes were the same night, so it would come off the DVD again as one file. So it would be labeled SO3EO1-EO2. These two were on the same night, so again, they probably came off the DVD as one file, and it would be labeled SO3EO4-EO5. So that's what's throwing your count off, Mr. Howman, and this is basically a labor of love. Now I want to show you one more thing. I don't have an example at TVDB, but there will be times when you click into a series. Let me just pick something up here. Let's just try Grey's Anatomy. That's a long-running show. Click into seasons. Sometimes you'll find the DVD order is drastically different. They'll have episodes rearranged in a couple seasons. They might not come in the right order. And usually that happens more often to a long-running show because there's more opportunity for a long-running show of 12, 15, 16 seasons to occasionally be preempted by world events. And sometimes it's a long enough interruption where the show might not even air that night, and the network will fit the missing show into the schedule as best it can, but the plot line may be out of order because of it. Well, when it gets released to DVD years later, of course they want it back into that original episodic order instead of the forced one that some world event caused the show to get out of sync with its episodic order. So if you have a difference between these two, you can actually name to the DVD order because you ripped from the DVD, and then you can have Plex scan in that way. So let me bring my server back in. I've got 2 seasons of the Lucy Show, and they're partial seasons. I just wanted public domain episodes. So I've got specials in season 1. Well, say this season 1 DVD release was a different order than the aired order, and I had the 2 separate listings at the TVDB. There's no way I could scan this season in properly the first time because it's always going to scan to aired order, and that'll screw up the metadata for the DVD ordering if it's truly different. But what you can do is once the show is scanned in, at the top level for the show, you can click the pencil, the edit, and under the advanced settings, you can then change episode ordering to TVDB, DVD, or absolute. And once you save changes, you'll see Plex is going to rescan things. And if this show has a different DVD order, you'll see that the episode names would be renamed. And actually this show probably does not have a DVD order, which is probably why I just lost episode names on it. So if I go back to the main show, edit it, go to advanced, change it back to the TVDB aired, it'll rescan again. Now let's wait for it to finish to see if I really screwed this up. Okay, so once it had a chance to scan, the actual episode names came up along with the descriptions, which just tells me without checking that this entry at TVDB does not have a DVD ordered entry. So anyway, if you have a truly different ordering based on the DVD entry at TVDB, it's not going to scan properly the first time, but when you make the manual adjustment to point to that DVD ordering and scan again or refresh the metadata, it will all sync up properly. But I'm afraid, Howman, that yours is a labor of love to get that Diff'rent Strokes in correctly. And I just want to throw out that I got you to join that one big Plex support group on Facebook, and now I left it. I'm also group expert at a very tiny group called Plex Family. They got knocked out by Facebook last fall, and they've only got about 120 members. So if you join that group, I can give you a lot of attention from just that group. I'm also in the Big Plexaholics Facebook support group for Plex, along with Plex Pals and Flex Your Plex. I do the same shtick in all the groups. If you have trouble naming files, if you have trouble with something related to a Plex support document, I'm there to try to help people out. So I'm not just a one group guy. I'm in all the groups trying to help people with their Plex servers to become better Plex server owners. Thanks for watching and good luck.